Hi guys, my name is Jess from Bicep, PA. I'm going to be taking you through an upper body band strength workout. So you will need a band today that has handles. If you have different size bands, I'm going to give you a tip here. So this is a light band. If I want to make it harder, I'm going to make a loop in the band that I will be stepping on to increase that resistance. So this makes it easier if you don't want to be switching out bands. I know it's difficult for me because then I would have to take off the handle. Just saves some time and effort. Making that loop and stepping on that loop at any point during this workout is going to make the resistance a little bit harder on that band. We're going to get started here with a warm-up first. First thing we're going to do is get down onto our hands and knees for T-spine rotation. One hand goes behind the head. You're going to rotate underneath your other arm and then open it back out. You're going to go 10 on each side. Going at your own pace here. I'm taking my time with it, making sure I get some good movement and a stretch here. Here's my kitten Aria. She's very curious about everything. I just adopted her about 2 weeks ago. And you can switch sides whenever you reach 10. Once you're done with those 10 on each side, you can stand on up. Next thing we're going to go into are I's, Y's, and T's. Standing up here, you're going to bend over at the waist, make an I with your arms, a Y, and a T. You're going 10 in each direction, or 30 total, depending on how you want to count it. Really getting the upper body warmed up here for this workout. Once you finish up with those 10, we're going to go into inchworms. For that inchworm, you're going to be starting in a standing position, and then you're going to bend over and walk those hands out until you come into a high plank. Once you're in that high plank, you can pause for a moment before bringing yourself back up to that starting position. We're just doing 3 reps here, just trying to get that body moving, nothing crazy. And I'm going to go 1 more rep. Alright, so for the workout today, there's going to be 2 different strength portions. The way I set it up, you're going to do chest exercise, back exercise, shoulder exercise, triceps, and then biceps. So 5 exercises in a circuit, 10 reps each, 3 times through. There's 2 different circuits. So I'm only going to go through 1 set of each, just so you can get an idea of how to do it. But I encourage you to rewind the video, go back, and repeat those sets so that you get 3 of each. First exercise I'm going to be showing you is a chest fly. So for this, you're going to wrap your band around some kind of pillar like this, or a railing, something that's going to be steady and isn't going to move on you. You want to make sure that you're not getting injured during this. So band is around here. It's going to be at about chest height for me, and I am going to flip this way and face you guys, holding the handles out to the side. You can kind of set your feet up however you feel comfortable. I have a staggered stance here, and you're just going to keep those arms slightly bent as you do a chest fly to the front. We're going to do 10 reps here. I'm kind of taking my time with it. The other thing to note is if you move further away from it, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult, add on a little bit more resistance here. We're doing 10 reps, and then we're going to go into a banded row. So you're going to keep your band still around your column, your rail, whatever you're using for that banded row. I'm going to flip around here. Again, keeping this at about chest height. I'm going to be turned around, and I'm just rowing my arms straight back here, pinching those shoulder blades together as I get to this point. We're doing 10 reps again at your own pace. Once you finish up with those 10 reps, you can take that band off of that pillar. You don't need it around it anymore. I believe that was 10, so I'm going to take this band off the pillar. Next thing we're going to do is that shoulder exercise. So let me just, first thing we have is an overhead press. So I'm stepping on my band. I'm doing that staggered stance where one foot is in front of the other, bringing the handles up to my shoulders, and I'm just pressing straight up overhead. Doing 10 reps here. You can hold it however you feel comfortable. If you want to have a neutral position with those hands, that's perfectly okay. I'm rotating mine as well. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. Going 10 reps. Once you're done with those 10 reps, we're going to go into a tricep kickback. So for that tricep kickback, you're still going to be stepping on that band with one foot. I'm coming into that staggered stance with one foot in front of the other. Going to bend over at the waist, keeping these handles tight against you. Your elbows are tight against you, and you're just going to extend those arms straight back. As you can see, my upper arms are completely still. My elbows are staying pinned against my side, and I am just extending straight back here. Keeping my back straight the entire time. No curve in that back. Again, we're going 10 reps. Once you reach those 10 reps, next thing we're going to go into is a bicep curl. Again, whatever stance feels comfortable for you. I like the staggered stance with one foot a little bit in front of the other. We're doing bicep curls here, curling those arms up and then straightening them back down. Doing 10 reps here, still keeping those elbows pinned at the side. And don't forget that trick where you can make a loop in that band and step on that loop. It's going to add a little bit more resistance, make that exercise a little bit more difficult if you don't want to switch out your bands throughout this workout. Once you hit 10, I want you to go through that circuit again 2 more times. So you can rewind this video, start back at the beginning of the circuit. You're going through it 3 times total. I'm only going through once just for a demonstration. Next circuit is going to be the same setup, 3 sets of it, 10 exercises, or sorry, 5 exercises. You're doing 10 reps each. So we're going to start off again with that pillar for the first 2 exercises. I'm going to be wrapping this around, again keeping it at about chest height, and I will be turning here, facing you guys. I'm going into that staggered stance, and we're going to be doing a chest press. So instead of having those arms spread out, keeping elbows tight against the side, and you're just pressing those arms straight forward and then coming right back. Pressing straight forward and right back. So my fists should be coming straight at you right now. Just like that. Again, we're going 10 reps here. If you step a little bit further away from that pillar, that railing, you're going to get a little bit more resistance for those 10 reps. Once you finish that, we're going to flip around. Next thing we're going to go into is a back fly. So my back is going to be turned towards you. Back fly is the same thing as the chest fly, just opposite. So I'm going to keep my arm, a slight bend in my arms, and we're going to fly them out to the side, squeezing those shoulder blades when I get to that back position, and then starting back at the front. You're going 10 reps here. As you finish up, you can take that band off of that pillar. If you're counting my reps, I might not be doing exactly 10. I'm losing track as I count. So after those back flies, we're going to go into that shoulder exercise. So stepping on that band, I have my staggered stance, one foot in front of the other. We're going to go with a forward raise to a lateral raise. During these movements, I don't want your hands going above the shoulders. So you should get to shoulder height before you come back down. You're going to be doing 10 of each exercise here. So depending on how you count, it might be 20 total. If you're counting each movement as one. Keeping those hands at shoulder height, not going above it. Don't forget to add that loop into the band if you're looking for a little bit extra resistance. But this exercise, you won't need anything super heavy because your arms are straight the entire time. Once you're done with that, we're going to go into a standing tricep extension. So again, coming into that staggered stance, but for this, I'm keeping the band under my back foot because I will be pressing this straight up overhead and then dropping my arms down and then extending right back up. So my elbows are staying tight against my head. My upper arms aren't moving. All that's moving, I'm bending at the elbows and dropping those handles right behind my head. Doing 10 reps here, keeping a straight back. Try not to arch it. Again, keep those elbows tight against the head as you're doing that movement. Once you finish up with that, 10 reps of that, we're going into cross-body bicep curls. So in that staggered stance, one foot in front of the other, my band's under that front foot. I'm doing cross-body bicep curl. So what this looks like, I have neutral position with my hands, so my palms are facing each other, and I am just curling up across my body. That's one on my right arm, one on my left. You're doing 10 on each arm, doing that cross-body curl. Here's a side view, so you can see my arm is staying against my body the entire time. Slow and controlled movement here. Going 10 on each arm for 20 total. And as you start to finish up, make sure you rewind this video again and go through these 5 exercises 2 more times. So you're doing a total of 3 sets of each movement. I'm only going through one again, just for time. Next thing we're going to do is take some time to cool down here. So first thing I want to do is take my hands in front, crossing my arms, palms facing each other here. So I'm pressing my hands together. What this does, rounds out that upper back there, and the goal is to get as much space between those shoulder blades as possible. So I'm trying to push my shoulder blades away from each other. You should feel this stretch across the top of your back here. Next thing we're going to do is take those hands behind, clasp them, and straighten out those arms so you're feeling this stretch across the front of your chest. You can hold this for about 10 seconds. We're going to go front again, rounding out that chest, pressing those palms together, trying to get as much separation between my shoulder blades as possible. And we're going to go behind the back, clasping up high, straightening out those arms, and stretching that chest. Last time here. Next, we are going to do a shoulder stretch, so straighten out one arm and pull it across your chest here. We're going to hold this for a little bit. You should feel this stretch in your shoulder and upper back right now. And you can release that. I'm going to switch sides here. Going with the other arm. Just pulling it across the chest. And next we're going to finish up with a tricep stretch. So what you're going to do is put your hand straight up in the air, and I'm going to drop that hand down behind my back and pulling my elbow so that I get that stretch across the side. You can even do a little side bend here. Feel the stretch a little bit more, and then release that, plugging that other hand up into the sky, dropping that hand down to the top of your back, and pulling on that elbow. Again, adding in that little side stretch so that you feel more of a stretch down your side. And you are done. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Again, my name is Jess Hamden from Ship Shape PA. Hope to see you guys soon.